Hi, I'm Symphoneers, and today we're doing a weird thing, or we're taking a look at a zero rare beans deck, and then later in the video I will show an upgraded version of this deck that I'm not confident is actually better than the zero rare version, but we'll get to that. So anyway, the main kind of trick or meme of the deck is like, hey, Up the Beanstalk is incredibly strong, and it's not a rare. How do we build around that? How do we support it? Well, Burning Tree Iridescent Tiger gives us Burning Tree Emissary-style play patterns, which is to say you can chain like 4 of them back to back, and Iridescent Tiger is a Beans trigger. Ho ho! And then, in addition to that, Breaching Dragonstorm can roll into an Iridescent Tiger, can let us cast a Jeskai Shrinekeeper, or something like that, and we can, even just with 1 Beans down, draw a bunch of cards off of doing kind of weird chaining our 5-drops together play patterns like that. So that is the basic parlor trick of the deck, and it is surprisingly good. It has felt surprisingly real. To support that, we have Twin Maw Stormbrood as our primary form of removal. I went back and forth on this because Charring Bite is awkward. There will be spots where it's like, oh no, the big demon has flying, but being able to flex between removal and a large body that gains you life, and like having the large body that gains you life in the deck for Breaching Dragonstorm or whatever to hit, is I think worth it, or like very relevant to not dying versus mono red or something. Jeskai Shrinekeeper I already briefly touched on as one of our other 5-drops. Just gains life, draws us cards, is value. Woo! In the 3-drop slot we have Stock Up. Stock Up is bizarrely powerful, or just I kind of missed it with the release of Aether Drift or whatever, but in seeing other people play it and getting some reps in with it myself, it's like, oh, this is closer to Dig Through Time than Divination. Like, this is a very strong draw spell, and it's very important for like ensuring that we have a beans that we can play and develop with. Because if you just rely on like the draw 2, discard 1, or whatever it is from the blue Overlord, for example, you will not have the same type of consistency that Stock Up gives you. So yeah, it's very good. As our other kind of cheeky way to trigger beans frequently, we are playing a full play set of River Wheel Sweeps. 3 stun counters is an eternity. So that's one thing. Like, the tempo element of River Wheel Sweep is maybe not strong enough for Standard in a general competitive sense, but it is very good from the perspective of like playing a 0 rare deck and playing powerful cards, or like things that can let you survive long enough to do the goofy parlor tricks that this deck does. And then on top of that, you get additional card selection to help you get to Beans or to the Charring Bite so that you don't die and you can kill a Shieldred or something, and etc, etc. In the 2-drop slot, we have 2 Rubies and 2 Wandertail Mentors, just as a bit of additional ramp to help us get up to 5 mana and so on, as well as a full playset of Llanowar Elves. Just again, for acceleration and ensuring that we can hit all the manas. Yeah. So, as I mentioned, we'll talk more about rare upgrades and stuff later in the video. For the moment, and the mana base is just simple, or like a bunch of Tri-lands, some Creosote Heaths and stuff, and Etched Cornfields, because it's the only budget land that can enter, budget dual that can enter untapped, theoretically. Yeah, if you like the deck tech and like the video, like, subscribe, etc. always helps the channel a lot. If you want to support the channel even more, dig around in the description below, and that will give you links to support me on Patreon. You can become a YouTube member. You can give me money through Ko-fi. If you want to, you can buy cards through Card Trader using my link and code, and that will get you a discount and me a kickback, and it's good. Thanks. All that rambling out of the way, let's get on to some actual gameplay. Sure, we can Bivouac, then Ruby, and Stock Up, ideally, or versus Mono Red? Toys? Or like Boros? No Arabella, which is good. Llanowar Elves also kind of helpful here because we can play it off of Ruby mana and jump up to 4. We can potentially Breaching Dragon's Storm next turn, which would be good. That would help. No Blocky the Percussionist. Opponent Gleeful Demolitions it. Mystic Monastery. So we don't get the kind of natural or easy. Okay. It's tempting to take both up the lands, up the beanstalks, but I think taking a land is responsible. We are almost to the point where it comes in untapped. They don't Imidane's Recruiter because they don't have 3 mana, which is something. The Arabella is terrifying. So we probably don't actually do stuff. We do things. We Beanstalk, and then we Twin Maw Stormbrood or a Charring Bite the Arabella and play out the other Llanowar Elves. And yeah, another Clockwork Percussionist. They are still stuck on 2. I say stuck on 2. 2 mana is all they need. They have a terrifying Imidane's Recruiter if they draw one or have one or whatever. No blocks. We do go down to 11. Bivouac? Do we need to bivouac? Let's Breaching Dragonstorm. We're maybe supposed to Twin Maw Stormbrood here, like cast the creature. Great. I was like, but we could, I was getting to, we could just hit one. And that would be nice. Because then we gain a bunch of life, we can do this, we can, I don't know, we can shoot one, but that takes 2 blockers out of the equation, so just no attacks. So we can block 3 things, they hit us for 4, 8, sorry, it's been a minute. Is Imidane's, it's +1/+0, yeah, that's what I thought. So we take 8. Etched Cornfield untapped. Maybe we should be more responsible here and just slam-a-jam, manually slam-a-jam the second Stormbrood, so that we have more life and more blockers. And yeah, we're sort of on defense for the moment, but if we have like a turn or two where they don't draw recruiters or whatever, for example, we start being able to build advantage with like the Jessica Shrinekeeper and the Dragonstorms and etc. Twin Maw Stormbroods doot. The opponent pushing what damage they can. Do they opt to Monstrous Rage? The thing... Ooh, I would have done one of the unblocked ones. Then we would be dead to, like, a frontline... Or, sorry, a Legion Extruder. Or something like that. So... Jessica Shrinekeeper definitely gains us life. Breaching Dragonstorm can roll into cats? Let's try Breaching Dragonstorm. We might get... We hit another Breaching Dragonstorm. Beans fires. Stock up. We hit Ruby. Okay, awkward. I mean, it's fine, but not terribly exciting at the moment. I do like doing the Shrinekeeper. That does reset both of the Dragonstorms. The opponent can eat the percussionist with the extruder to get the death trigger. That shows inspiring vantage, and they have a 3/3 now. They don't attack because their attacks are fairly bad. We do draw another Stormbrood. Gain 5, please. Gaining 5 is relevant to my interests. Iridescent Tiger. We'll get to do the meme thing. And discard to hand size. Yeah, no, this is okay. We can River Wheel the 3/3, which gets us a Beanstalk proc, and will show us some cards. Untapped land would be helpful. Oh, they actually... I blanked on the fact they could do that. That's sure, fair play to you. No attacks. We still get, like, Beanstalk procs off of doing that, so it's not horrific or anything, but... I will discard a Bivouac and one of the Dragon Storms. The Tiger's good for building to the board, and, like, getting enough blockers that we can start actually attacking with the 5/5s and winning the game. Hi, Delny. You are something they wanted much earlier. We should shoot Delny, probably. Not that we can right now. Cornfield, Tiger. Okay. Yeah, we're just able to, like, stabilize with the Twin Moss Stormbroods and kind of outlast the Boros Toys... Boros, like, Tokens Recruiter deck, and yeah, I don't know, good games to the opponent. Yes. We've got mana accelerants and green mana and beans. So as soon as we draw just like a big dragon or dragon storm stuff, we can get go and get to it. We'll do the abraded bluffs, so we have red mana and the Llanowar elves. Ghost Vacuum. We'll do ruby and we'll do beans. I do forget how good ruby is sometimes because, I don't know, like 2-mana Dork is fundamentally just less exciting or less efficient than 1-mana Dork, but also it does make Ruby function much more like your friend and mine, Craig, which is not in the list for some reason. Or, I don't know, I had a reason for that at some point, probably. I built this deck a week or two ago, woo! Anyway, Ruby gets shot, which does limit our options a bit. Cutting us off of 5 mana is awkward here. We don't have a way to blind fire the River Wheel Sweep. So just bonk. Yeah, if they have a creature or something, we can do this, although at this point, we are hoping to keep the Llanowar elves and, like, Shrine Keeper and or Breaching Dragonstorm. We maybe prefer the Shrine Keeper. They're gonna shoot my Llanowar elves and not play a creature, so we both can't do a 5-drop, and no, opt. They're vibing. Storm Chaser's Talent. Okay. Oh yeah, we don't have blue for the Shrine Keeper. So we do the Dragonstorm. Spell Pierce, okay. Great. We do draw a card off of beans. I appreciate the opponent actually using their Ghost Vacuum promptly and not roping for 6 minutes, like so many people do on Arena. It's very frustrating. Or just as someone whose literal job it is to like churn through you know, 100 arena games a day or whatever, it adds up. Our opponent's staring at beans, thinking about beans, cursing beans. They reset Llanowar Elves and the Storm Chasers talent. Little do they know, we're cut off on blue. Or yeah, missing blue. We'll do the Mystic Monastery so that we are... that is less of a problem. Then we will Llanowar Elves and we will tap one of the Otters. Doot. Paying 2 and targeting one of them. Beanstalk proc. And we draw an Evolving Wilds. Probably do the Evolving Wilds for a blue. Yeah, stock up, I guess. I don't know if we probably don't stock up over on a Jeskai Shrinekeeper, actually. Although the only other thing we saw was a land, and it's like, well, we have 2 and we have beam procs that will mean we probably flood, if anything. Sorry, it's just checking a thing. Been having a lot of audio problems lately in a way that is frustrating. But anyway, Elf is in hand because of Floodmaw. We grab a blue source to make our mana less weird. We try to jam a Shrinekeeper. Beanstalk proc, I'm expecting counter magic. Ooh, okay. They might have more bounce. Attack all. A braid. It got unbanned in Commander recently. Haha. As a side thing, I recorded a video talking about, like, Universes Beyond and stuff, and most of the recent news. I didn't actually talk about the Commander stuff. And, that video got fried by the horrible clicking audio problems, so I think the count of videos I've lost to audio problems recently is up to like 4 or 5. So that's great! If you're wondering why things have been patchy lately, that's a very big part of why. Jeskai Shrinekeeper again. We do this, we should probably hit roll. Beans. Ooh. Tiger. We do this, is the difference between 1 and 2 a big one? Not really, they're just upticking either way. So... we slam a Jamma. Iridescent Tiger, Shrinekeeper to face, maybe Llanowar Elves gets to do something. They've been diligent about ghost vacuuming. 1/1 Jeskai Shrinekeeper's something. We can shift the current. Everything else is, I don't know, not super relevant, or it's like the Shrinekeeper and Ruby, or the actual gets. The Shrinekeeper has a good attack trigger. Ruby, Our opponent getting a thing back to hand. Opt. I would have done the Spell Pierce or something. Or the, Into the Flood, probably.
I am confident this will work.
Opponent opts 0 top, 1 bottom. Temple of Epiphanies. Oh lordy, they scryin'. So... Tiger. And dare I say, Tiger. And then... Shrinekeeper? No, if only we... Oh, we're so close to chaining more tigers than that. I kind of like getting the mana dorks down. We missed the initial expend proc window on the Wandertail Mentor. Also, oh, you're a Mystic Monastery, you're right. I definitely knew that. We get Rawl off the board, which is important. We get the Shrine Keeper proc, the attack trigger. This happens. They get their own baby Shrine Keeper, which is not ideal, but all things considered not too bad. Monstrous Rage, okay. They have no good attacks on the ground. They do hit me for 4 with baby Shrine Keeper. They do these attacks for some reason. I don't agree with them. We go to 7. We would like to Iridescent Tiger first. That's a land. It's an untapped land, at least. So we'll probably play that because everything else in hand is tapped. Stock Up shows us Riverwheel Sweep and I guess Wandertail Mentor. Not having a ton of luck hitting some of the other stuff in our deck. The big dragons or whatever. We'll do this. Draw a land. Breaching Dragonstorm. So we can't do that this turn, but we do get to a Breaching Dragonstorm. Ruby is flying. We have a bunch of blockers. I'm just gonna keep the Llanowar Elves back because our clock is pretty good. Stormbrood, there we go. We finally hit it. It would have been nice to hit it a bit earlier, but I don't know, we're doing okay. Their only untapped creature is Ruby. Corey Steelcutter, I have dodged a bullet. Oh, they're playing way too many cards. Sorry, I didn't notice until now. They're at 54 and they should be at, yeah, they're playing 64, 70 or something total. I would cut out Roll and maybe probably the Spell Pierce. I don't know. I was like, oh, they might have a Pyroclasm or something. I would cut out the Pyroclasm because it gets the Corey Steelcutter Monk. Yeah, good games to the opponent. So this is the rare full version of the deck, doing a more kind of standard Overlords thing. And it's kind of weird, or like some things are a direct upgrade, I think. Like Ironcrag, the Ironcrag gives us more instantly tappable 2-drop mana accelerants. Like it gives us a kind of full playset of rubies effectively without having to hit the legend rule or whatever as frequently as if we were just playing 4 of them. So that is good. That is like a pretty strict or pretty linear upgrade in my mind. The Overlords have actually been like kind of fiddly. They are more powerful in a vacuum or in a general sense in terms of just being like higher quality cards than, you know, the uncommon dragon or whatever. But they have double pips in their cost, which actually matters because Iridescent Tiger gives you the full Wooburg, so you can't actually chain from the Tiger into another 5-drop play quite as easily with this rare full version. And yeah, Leyline Binding has been a little bit awkward. Initially, I was doing a very complicated thing with the mana, or very complicated, you know, I was playing a ton of Surveil lands and Verges and stuff and just relying purely on those, but then that felt less consistent than playing the Tri-lands. And then I switched to all Tri-lands, but then Leyline Binding wasn't working, and now I'm somewhere in the middle with the mana. And yeah, this certainly is a much more expensive deck. I don't actually know it's better. Or like, I would pretty strongly recommend the zero rare version in terms of being a fun, goofy, it's like a coin flippy 50% win rate kind of deck, even though I think in recording today, I think I won all the games I played or whatever, but the overall win rate's like 50%. I think the tracked win rate for the rare version is actually worse currently. Or yeah, it's like 40% currently because I was hitting issues with like the mana being weird, and spots where the iridescent tiger parlor trick is less good, and etc., etc. That is kind of interesting to me, or like I think the deck as a whole is interesting, and then the fact that like the kind of intuitive, easy way to potentially upgrade it, it might actually be worse than the zero rare version. That is also kind of like notable or weird, or I don't know. It's one of the things that made me want to do a video on this list overall, even though it is like pretty goofy and anyway, thanks again. Now here is some of this rare deck doing stuff. Keep. Sorry, I was about to do that kind of without thinking. I do like beans. Oh, we'll draw green mana. It'll be fine, don't worry about it. Craig, your friend and mine. That'll help us jump up to boiler bilges or whatever. Or to the breaching Dragonstorm. Boiler bilgesing the nesting bot is maybe not sheltered by ghosts on Craig? How dare. Craig deserves better. We can't do things, so get the tap land out of the way. We also can't shoot the nesting bot awkwardly. Hey! Craig couldn't stay away. If we draw an untapped land, we can just boiler build, just like full price. Our opponent hates Craig. How dare. And then, yeah, we can't actually 4 damage to any target. 4 damage to any target. We should use mana. We might just be dead to this nesting bot shutting off. I mean, it was a goofy keep in some regards, just because of, like, no green or whatever, or, like, yeah, no green for beans and etc. But our mana getting hit twice is not ideal. Also a game, this is I think the first game where this has actually mattered in terms of like the leyline discount stuff not coming online. Okay, I mean we're, yeah, just very dead. Good games to the opponent? The friction points were self-evident. Anyway, sorry, this is the correct one? Yes, this is the rare version. This hand is alright. We can do a tapped land on one, maybe the Bivouac, actually. Basri, tomorrow's champion. Well. We'll do the Inspiring Vantage and your friend and mine, Craig. Leyline Binding. I mean, we can stick Basri under the... No? Okay. We'll maybe do one of the Surveil lands just to get it out of the way. Pay no attention to the fact I didn't play a fast land. Aven Interrupter. Okay, that makes them not playing anything make sense. I still don't get why they didn't attack with Basri. It's odd. I guess maybe if I don't play anything, but like, come on. Beans? No second interrupter. And then we can stock up or we can get Basri. I kind of like... I don't know, I don't mind sticking Basri under the binding here. We do this at sorcery speed so that we don't give them a window to like untap with Basri, exert Basri, get a cat, or something like that. Maybe I instantly regret that and I'm like, oh no, now they have bird, or now they have big play I can't address, but that hasn't really seemed like the vibe so far. Look in Parlor, I'll take a Leyline Binding. Cat! Beanstalk draws us the Leyline Binding. We cannot Boiler Bilges because it's double red. But we can Binding or we can stock up. I kind of like the stock up, or I don't hate taking two. We will take the Overlord of the Mistmoors and the Fabled Passage. I guess we do just have mana for the Leyline Binding. Fire off some Overlords or something next turn, it'll be fine. We're playing a Beans deck, we don't have to care about managing our resources. Yeah, not really a joke, but anyway, lay down arms on Big Cat, short. Very fine with that. We do this, we do full-priced Overlord as a treat. That gets us beans. Which gets us more land. And some 2/1s. I don't know what their hand is, if, like, doing Fountain Port Fishes is their play. I guess they could just be flooding very hard. They have certainly been keeping up on lands, and they're drawing less cards. So, very possibly a issue for them. Fabled Passage. And white, I don't think it matters, but yeah. Just do stuff, go honka, honka. Make some more 2/1s. Opponent makes a fish. Opponent presumably blocks with a fish. Yeah. The big Overlord as a treat. Bonk. This does seem like our opponent flooded out of this game. I mean, maybe they're about to like hit me with something spicy, but or like a sweeper keeps them in the game here. Basri number 2. This does seem, yeah, like they're playing too many lands for whatever strategy they're on. We should stock up, or no, sorry, I should just Boiler Bilge's face, because then that's lethal with the moths. They block the Mistmoors, etc., etc. But I have cast the thing, so we might as well do stuff. Hubba-da-ba-da, hubba-da-ba-da. Procs are happening. Fishes happen. Or they will presumably Fountain Port. Oh yeah, we can't do whatever this is. Who cares? Honka honka. Yes, I know, mana fizzled or whatever. I think we're okay. Good games to the opponent. Cat. Now that is a powerful cat. We have turn 1 Llanowar Elves. Then we can not do a turn 2 stock up because we don't have blue. We could draw blue. I maybe should have thought about that and like grabbed blue with the Fabled Passage. They are going to shoot the Llanowar Elves anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, we will now. I guess there's some consideration for grabbing white for Leyline Binding. Stock up, I think, helps us get like more lands for stuff. Monastery Swift Spear and Bolt Wave, just straight up and down mono red. Okay, stock up. Overlord of the Hauntwoods, because it gives us 1 mana Leyline Binding. And just, beans. Because it's beans. Sorry, did we see... maybe supposed to do a Fabled Passage, actually. Oh well. No, our mana. Oh, boy, our mana. Oh, I missed that we don't have double green right now. That's very bad, actually. Definitely hitting a lot more friction in running this list today with the Leyline Binding stuff. In terms of, like, having adequate mana to cast things. Flame Lash to the face. We are extremely dead. Sorry, I'm gonna take a quick break to do stuff. Sure, we have Ruby, we have reasonable mana. We probably want to keep a land top, if only so that we can hit the boiler bilges and or the overlord thing. Yeah, do this. Honka honka. Ruby swings in for that sweet, sweet single point of damage. And then next turn, everywhere plus Leyline Binding on Bill. Cause it's Bill. Bill, Bill, Bill. Or I mean, I guess we could boiler bilges too. We don't. No, if we're doing the Hauntwoods, we thinking. Yeah, no, this is fine. Or no, we don't have white mana if we tap like that. So if we could not tap like that, that would be great. Me almost getting just my turn ruined by the auto tapper. Leyline Binding Bill. There's not really any reason to let them have Bill. And Hauntwoods ticks down. Or to, like, let them potentially have counter magic to protect Bill via untapping. Good. Nothing on 3 is encouraging. It's a something. I think we shoot the Llanowar Elves. If we're just assuming they're on a ramp strategy, setting them back a turn. Welcome back, Bill. Setting them back a turn favors us because we have overlords and stuff ticking down. Mossborn Hydra. Okay. This is fine. We're so lucky it wasn't a fetch. We are so lucky it wasn't a fetch. Or that's one reason why to hold the Leyline Binding or whatever that I was like half thinking about earlier, but just kind of ended up disregarding. Not thinking about disenchants and so on. Breaching Dragonstorm, sure. Yeah. Do that, spin into something, and we'll figure it out. Mossborn Hydra, do. Breaching Dragonstorm, just to see if we hit things. Tiger. This is a kitty, not a super useful kitty, all things considered, or like in this position, but it is fine. Shoot Bill. take out their ability to do the goofy, get the Hydra to 20 counters immediately thing. We get the Overlord of the Hauntwoods now. And Mossborn Hydra. I don't know why I was about to cast Ruby. We just go vroom vroom. We go vroom vroom, and then we honka bonka the face, and this will fix everything. This will make me. This will water my crops, and I don't know what I'm doing. This stuff happens. Tyvar's stand. Okay, so I should have shot face, I guess. Maybe I'm supposed to think about that more, although, what, they block that and still take 6 and we're fine. Yeah, we're just able to interact with Simic Ramp or, like, you know, murder Bill repeatedly enough that they can't do the Hydra Parlor trick, and we're fine. Good games to the opponent. Yeah, sure. Surveil land on 1, then Ruby on 2. And then something. Oh no. We're versus Mono Red, which seems suboptimal. Oh, is it prowess? Sure. I'm surprised we're getting Is It Prowess at this, like, this part of Mythic, just because it's very good deck right now, right? Corey Steelcutter is a nasty magic card. Nasty brackets powerful. I think I was correct in my call of this being like the most powerful card in the set. Hey, Orsurp. Good to see you, good to have you. It's in all parts of Mythic, yeah. I mean, that's kind of Arena in general, huh? Of, like, people in Bronze will be playing this deck, too. We do this, we shoot the Swift Spear. I don't know. Being on the draw into this is, like, not good. Not a good place to be. The Swift Spear's not a repeatable body. No, I mean, maybe I'm supposed to just shoot the token anyway. Sleight of hand. They presumably have a thing. No, no thing. Ho ho. Well, if only I had an untapped land. Seachrome Coast is nothing. I was supposed to develop my mana differently, probably. To leave a leyline binding open as a potential thing. No attacks. Because we need to be able to block with the Ruby, and then we do the I was definitely supposed to do my mana differently. Oh no. We were supposed to try to get 2 white sources from the Overlord of the Mist Moors. I don't know why with the rare version of this deck, the mana feels so much more fiddly. Or I guess it is just the double pips on all the Overlords. I mean that, well, we can at least, you make the parlor trick with the Tiger worse too, actually. I don't know, we'll do this. Things tick, and we're dead on board. Good games to the opponent / yep, that's how I would expect that matchup to play out. Sure. Surveil Copperline Gorge is a untapped source, and it helps round out our mana, and woo! So we do this, and we beans, and we draw a card. Just do the Hauntwoods Foretell on 3, probably. Maybe we do other stuff, I don't know. Or that will help us jump up to being able to do like Tiger plus Overlord, right? I guess it kind of depends on our land draws. Quarry Steel Cutter. Yep. So we do this, and we do this. And Overlord of the Hauntwoods goes burr. Stadium headliner. Like mobilize with steel cutter, I guess. Not my steel cutter. Not how I would do steel cutter. Okay. Anyway, we do stuff. And grab a thing and play Tiger. Oh, you know what would be helpful? Stock up. Or Beans works too. Get the steel cutter so that they stop making additional monks. Yeah. Just stuff to use the floating mana other than the Tiger. Now we have a blocker, we have the steel cutter off the board, we're pretty well set up to just start like slam-a-jamming overlords. This is feeling better, this is feeling more like how this deck usually feels. Testing today has been weird, or not testing, but like playing the games today has been kind of weird. It's just like the mana malfunctions and stuff, and it's like, oh. Is the zero rare version better? I don't know. The Monastery Swift Spear post-combat. We have 2 beans on board, so it's not super necessary to jam more beans. Well, we just do the full Overlord here. Shoot. Or sorry, I was thinking it was Boiler Builders. My brain is fried this morning for some reason. That reason is chronic stress, but listen, if I just go like, haha, I'm so stupid, it's more fun. I think, I don't know. That definitely is a weird habit I developed in terms of just being like, it's not fun to talk about stress or whatever, or like financial anxiety or streaming, or for videos. Support me on Patreon. So just go tee hee hoo hoo, I goofed. Anyway, Elspeth. You are end of next turn or whatever. That's worrying. 4 damage to any target. Overlord gives us more blockers than like taking something out, or sorry, Overlord's not useful to Mistmoors gives us more blockers than doing other stuff here. And we don't have any 1 mana play, so we do this, we kill Elspeth. We keep blockers up. Like pushing 3 damage with the Tiger doesn't seem super useful here. Ruby, goodbye. And yeah, I guess another Elspeth would be bad for us. Yeah, I think Elspeth is very slow for a Quarry Steel Cutter deck. Although, she can also just, like, let 3 creatures or whatever win the game. So, you know, maybe it's fine. My instinct is just very much to lean into, like, cantrips and reliably triggering Steel Cutter rather than trying to do the other things. Chainsaw, shoots a moth. We're vibing? And by vibing, I mean going to 2. Okay. I mean, if they don't top deck burn, we should be fine, because the Overlord of the Mistmoors will produce more blockers. And then we will boiler bilges. We could boiler bilge, do like multiple impendings on the boiler bilges. I don't agree with this attack. I mean, maybe that gives them some chainsaw line or something, but impending. Beans. Iridescent tiger. Okay. Chainsaw do be a Revan. Iridescent tiger, and then we have everywhere mana, so we can do the full price boiler bilges next. And that lets us shoot the 2/2. And then basically if they don't top deck burn, we're fine. Top deck any target burn. Bunch of Overlord procs. Bing bang bing bang bong. Did I miss lethal there? Maybe. I don't know. We're fine. We're here now. Not burn. Well, why? That was such a high-pitched air horn. They can draw a card off of the Fountain Port Fish. Is this burn? Stadium Headliner. Whoa, we do things or take game actions and they're dead on board. Yeah. Good games to the opponent. Thank you for watching the video, and an extra big thank you to the Patreon patrons and YouTube members that help make these videos possible. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.